Hello everyone. It's James again. And in today's video, I want to talk about women that have young male children they are raising, and for them to think about how they want this young male child's life to turn out in the future. You see, those women that spoke up against what was happening during the feminist movement now often state, we don't need to just educate the men and help them avoid abuse, but we also need to educate the women about how not to be abusive. Many women since birth are taught it's okay to hit a man, that it's okay to use a man for his money or wealth. And in the middle of this the woman ends up with a torn life. Because deep down inside for most women doing such acts leaves them empty when they are old and worn out from the life they have led. The life that all the propaganda magazines and TV shows tells her she should lead. The sad part is the women that are decent ladies but still plugged into the matrix, maybe raising young male boys, not realizing they are setting these young men up for failure. They are setting them up for failure because they aren't teaching them the needed life skills on how to avoid toxic women, how to work hard and go for what they want in life, how being an aggressive successful male is a good thing, to be gentle at the right moments, and that real women don't like men that are as emotional like a darn woman. Instead they are fed the opposite information. And this information, or misinformation, leads to many men failing at life and being taken advantage of, left and right, by any and all that enter this young male's life. Then this young mother cries as she watches her son that she, ill-prepared for life, be taken advantage of and abused. She watches helplessly as he is torn apart, knowing she didn't correctly prepare him to avoid such pitfalls. So this is why I say, ladies, aren't your young boys worth the best you have to offer? Do you have sons that deserve to know they can be anything they want to be in life? And that this little gentleman stuff you have been laying on your sons is making him look like a sucker to predatory females out there when he becomes a man. Now I'm not saying the man shouldn't be respectful, but isn't respect earned? What we are needing to turn some of this damage around is awake men. But we also need some awake women out there too. Ladies, you've got to stop leaving your men because you can. And you ladies know exactly what I'm talking about. The facts are, the court system gives women a small financial incentive to leave a man. First, this was done in poor communities as a test. They would offer a welfare to women that had children, but were in a tough financial spot. One catch: the man couldn't be around. Social workers would inspect the homes to make sure no men's belongings were there. In order to receive this money, it allotted these communities the illegitimacy rate was so low, it barely existed. Now it's almost the norm. And it all started with programs such as these to put a wedge between a woman and a man, between the child and his parents. And in those times parents did what they had to do to put food on their table. But as the generations moved forward, along with more propaganda and the like, it became a toxic problem, where that's just how people lived, and children lost their way, which was the intent of those that created such programs. Then this toxic family model began to move into middle-income homes, with the rise of divorce court and child support cases. You see, I don't think anyone will argue the case that a woman should leave a man that is physically abusing her or cheating on her. However, that's usually not the case with most divorces filed by women in America. Most women leave their men because they simply can, because they are told they don't need a man to be a father to their kids, and that they can do it all. Also, they are told by their attorneys the more dirt they can drudge up on the father, and the worse they can make him look, the more money she can get. So, there's a financial incentive for her to divorce or break up with a man that may have really done little to nothing wrong. But men and ladies that are watching this video, the main thing about this topic is, what about your kids? And what about your sons in particular? Before you start making comments on this video talking about, see man, that's right, I will never get married, I will never deal with a woman, or some women might say, all men are this, that, and the other. I want you to think about this for a moment. Clear your mind of all comments and things you want to say. And I want you to think long and hard, both men and women. This was deliberately done to you. I will say this again. This was deliberately done to you. Those that did this want your kids to grow up all screwed up. They know if the father is out of the picture, the young male child will lose that part of him that will make him what he should become. And that's a male. that uses his natural male aggressiveness to rise up and become a success. Ladies, these quotes get you a little bit of chump change, so you can buy a new handbag. Maybe go on a cruise to an exotic island to celebrate your divorce. They dangle the carrot and you go for it. And the reason why you go for it is because everyone around you is doing the same thing. And you don't want to seem out of place. You don't want to be out of what is socially normal. So you will willingly destroy any chance your young male child has at making good for his life. The other thing is, if there are more fathers teaching their young men about life, and what's acceptable, and what's not, it makes it almost impossible for women to be set up as our masters. Because as discussed before, in all slave cultures, the slave masters knew the way to control their slaves. And that's to demean the man in front of the women, and then set the women up as their masters. Look around you today. Isn't that what you see out there in life being done right now? You see, I don't give a darn whether or not the legitimately toxic women wake up or not. But the ones I'm trying to reach are those that are going along with this crazy ride, but they deep down inside are good people, but they don't know what else to do. All I have to say, isn't your young male child worth it? Go look at your boy right now and think to yourself, do you want him to be taken advantage of by everyone he meets when he becomes an adult? Ask yourself, is the man you are with really that bad? Or are you making him out to be a bad guy in your mind, so you have an excuse to leave, so your conscience won't hurt? Is all that worth to hurt your boy's life? Hurting your boy's chances of turning into a real man? You are going to deprive your male child the chance to grow up with a man and to learn how to become a man just so you can get a few bucks and party a bit, and be able to fit in with your friends, because they are doing the exact same thing. You see, if this video grabs one woman by the heart and makes her rethink what she's doing or not doing, and it leads her to making a better decision for herself and her child, then it's all worth it. Seriously. If this video affects just one woman, then there's going to be a boy out there that's going to stand a chance in life. Because look around, ladies. You see what's going on out there. The bells and alarms are going off. They are trying to ruin your children. It doesn't matter what race, color, or background you are from. They are targeting your children. For the love of God, stop going along with it. These people that put out such propaganda don't care about you at all. At all. At all. Wake up, ladies. Their goal is to turn your boys into sissies that have no protective skills whatsoever, and to turn off their aggressive drive to become successful. And they also want to grab a hold of your daughters and turn them into overly aggressive masculine women, where they see that men have no value except to be used. I will be doing a video on that topic as well, as it's very important to know what is being done to every one of us. And just like they are targeting your boys, they are targeting your girls. So when they grow up, they won't be able to have loving connections with men, because their fathers were taken away from them when they were young. Now, before you comment on what I just said, remember, none of this means you should stop living life to the fullest, and that you should stop living like a normal human being. But what the takeaway should be, there's enough people, both male and female, with enough sense in their head that can tell themselves, this mess is completely wrong. Yes, you might lose some friends because you aren't going along with what they are doing. But who cares? They weren't good friends to begin with. And who knows, you might meet like-minded, family-oriented people you can become friends with. Ladies, you have to stop taking these stupid court-ordered handouts to cut off your children from their father. Because if anything, those that give you the handouts do this for a reason. Because they don't want your male child to become anything important. They just want him to become an obedient worker and submissive to women. And ask yourself, is this what you really want for your son? The choice is yours, ladies. Like I always say, knowledge is power. The more we know, the more we can better our lives. Until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.